Another approach to texture in Adobe Illustrator might be the creation of custom texture brushes that you can use. If you have a look in my brushes palette here, there's a brush that I've made previously, and it looks like this. So I'll just remove the fill there, and this is the brush stroke that I've created, and I'll just pop that to the back of the eyeball there and use it as a kind of a shadow object. Make it a bit smaller. And there's my kind of shadow. Nice and subtle, very usable, and you could use that in kind of a multiple layered way and build up those textures and kind of shading as required. Let's have a look at how we'll build that. It's going to be made out of a vector that we create, and so I'm going to use the pen tool to create couple of little. Oops, I'll just undo that. I don't want the brush currently. I want our normal stroke. So I'm going to create a couple of scungy looking little specks, like so. A couple of small ones. So I just paused there while I built out the rest of my sort of brush graphic just with the pen tool, and then I started duplicating them by kind of just holding the Option key down and trying to make it as random as possible, something like that. And I think we'll work with that and see how that goes. What we need to do now is select it. I just zoom out. I think it might be a little bit big, so I'm gonna just bring it down in size a little bit, something like that. Select that graphic and come over to your brushes palette and add a new brush. And that's going to bring up our new brush options, and I'm going to click scatter and go OK. And so here we've got a couple of properties to address. First one, the size I'm going to make random, and it's going to be between about 90% and 100% of the original. I think I might adjust the rotation a little bit and change the method to tints. I think that's enough. You could muck around experimenting with the spacing, scattering the spacing. Should we try random with the spacing as well? Drop that down and we'll go OK. So just know that there's plenty of room for experimentation there, and we'll click OK, and then that's added that little swatch into our brushes palette. So we'll click on that as the stroke that we're going to apply, and then we'll start drawing a square like this, and you can see that it is applying our brush. It's also got a fill, so I'll just turn that off. We'll have a look at that. So currently that's what we've got. So I think we could do just a little bit better than that. So with our shape that we've made there selected, we can double click back into the brush and make some adjustments to our settings in here. first of all, I'm going to name it. I think the randomness of it is okay. I am going to change the spacing back to fixed, and with preview selected you can see what the adjustments are doing to the brush itself and how it renders, so we can kind of make these adjustments and see what's happening. And definitely if we bring that fixed value down, it's looking a little bit more textural to me. I think maybe my initial dots are a little bit too kind of chunky for my liking, but you know, we'll run with it at the moment. The scatter value, it looks alright to me. I certainly don't want to make it too drastic. So I was thinking of a negative value, something like that's looking okay. Let's play with the rotation, and I suppose that's kind of just randomizing it a little bit more. And I'm kind of enjoying that. I think we'll go with that and click OK. And we'll apply that to our strokes as well. So there's our new texture, and if I apply it to a circle like so, I could put that in the background there and use that as a kind of a shadow, which I think looks quite good. And I might duplicate that, bring it to the front, scale it right down, and I'm going to paste it behind, paste it in front. I wonder if I've got I don't have an object there to place that over. I'll improvise and add a shape here that's going to be white, just to block out the and I can paste that in front there. Pop it in there, that's more like what I wanted. And we'll change the color of that to something a little bit more subtle. And there we go, we've used our custom scatter brush, custom texture brush to add some few textured elements into our design work there. And this is a good approach because it is all vector, for those vector purists out there.